Hi, I'm Johnny, and welcome back to Off the Beaten Trail. Today, I'm talking to you about some changes that I've made. I don't know if you've noticed. Yeah, I cut my hair, and that's been a shock to a lot of people. I've had a lot of feedback on it, and it has been kind of overwhelming in a sense. The cutting my hair part has not been as overwhelming as the amount of feedback that I've gotten from people in my community and people that know me on social media. It's just been extremely intense, and I kind of hinted that I was going to be cutting my hair a few weeks ago, and I got a lot of negative comments about people telling me that I shouldn't cut it and how it was going to be horrible if I was to cut it, and that I would never get it back and I'd never be able to grow it back. And it was just really intense. And I was just like, I thought a lot of those comments were ridiculous. My hair is something personal to me, and it's something that I grew out for spiritual reasons. And so when I did decide to cut it, again, that's more for spiritual reasons and more for personal reasons that have nothing to do with what other people think I should do with my hair. And that's one of the reasons why I grew it out in the first place. When it comes to this video, I'm really just going to be talking about the changes and the reason why I decided to go ahead and cut it, because I'm going through a lot of changes within my life right now, and it may affect my channel in certain degrees, but I'm also sure that you're wondering, I grew that hair out for about 5 years, and I'm sure you're like, why did I just go ahead and decide to change it up? And why did I grow it out so long for all that time period? I do want to say it was really random. It wasn't something that I was expecting to do this soon. I was expecting to cut my hair within a year or 6 months from today's date, and I had no idea when I was going to do it. But over the past month or so, I started feeling really led to go ahead and get it done and get it cut. And so that really influenced my decision with cutting it, because with making these big life changes, I need to change myself as well. Originally, I started growing my hair out because it was a testament of needing to change within myself, needing to be a stronger person. I've always been very confident. I've always been very happy with myself, but I've often let other people influence my decisions and influence the things that I do within my life. And so growing my hair out was a way for me to take back control and to gain back a little bit of spiritual strength in my life. So I grew it out when I was going through some hard times, and I decided that whenever my life got a little bit easier or a little bit better, or I made some major life changes, that I would go ahead and cut it. And so I continued to grow it out, and it got extremely long. And then afterwards, my life started to change a little bit, but at the same time, I felt a connection to the hair. I felt more empowered and stronger. And originally, whenever I grew my hair out, everybody hated it. Ever since I've cut it, everybody's like, you look so much better with your hair short, and you look so different and amazing. And I want to say that about 75% of people have like complimented me and been like so surprised at the difference that it's made in how I look. And then about 25% of the people still like the way that I look now, but liked the way that I looked with my longer hair better. Another thing about me is I'm a very confident person. I really wanted to not only grow my hair out for some spiritual strength, but I also kind of was curious to see what I would look like with the hair as long as it was. And I think that it looked really good. A lot of people think that I won't grow it out again, and the reality is I don't know. I'm not planning on growing it back out within the next year or two, I need to continue to follow this journey, but I may go ahead and grow it out in the future if that's what I feel like I need to do. It's more about my faith and more about my spirituality than anything else, and that's why I grow it out. As I connected with my hair throughout the years, then I started forming my YouTube channel, and it became a part of my identity. It became a part of who I was. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and create this YouTube channel. And, you know, my hair was a representation of like my freedom and my love of nature and my love of being natural and naturalism, the natural environment and the way that things should be in nature. And so it was really like another thing about all of that. I really enjoyed being able to feel more connected with the world with my hair a little bit longer. And it might sound a little bit strange, but it's just, it changed my outlook on a lot of things. I really enjoyed being able to keep it at that length, to be able to walk through nature and have the sunshine on it or the wind blow on it, and to see the way that it changed. It was something that I really did enjoy. So as I created my YouTube channel, and I've had this channel for about 10 months now, and 2 more months it'll make a full year, I really began to think about how my hair represented me and represented my brand, and that it really represented a lot of about, you know, nature and what the channel was about. I just felt like my image fit really good with my channel idea. And so I didn't want to cut it, and I wasn't planning on cutting it. I was planning on keeping it long throughout the entire time period of having my YouTube channel, and I was hoping that this channel would have became a lot bigger, and it's really starting to grow lately. But I was hoping that, you know, over the time period where it wasn't doing as well, like it would have kicked up a lot faster, and that's just not what happened. So like I said, I entered a new point in my life, and the hair was going with what I wanted to go for. So I had no reason to cut it at that time period. But I want to say within the past 5 to 6 months, I had a lot of complications going throughout my life. Some major changes and major hardships, and really it was right after I started this channel, whenever some things started happening at work, it just all began to escalate, and everything kind of started to fall apart for me. And I started going through a lot of hardship and a lot of challenges that I wasn't ready to face. And I think that I handled everything really well, and it's made me change a lot as a person. And it made me realize that, you know, I can't put all my eggs in one basket, and that's something that I've never really truly learned. It's always been a very hard lesson for me, and I think that even after this experience, it's still going to be something that's hard for me to do. But it wasn't just like I had all of my eggs in one basket. I had plenty of plans, you know, that all fell through. It was like one after another, after multiple things that I had experienced, you know, just kind of fell through. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to what I went through based off of what happened with everybody else within the coronavirus. It wasn't just something that happened with me. Everybody's going through a hard time right now. I was going through a hard time before the coronavirus pandemic hit, and then it just continued to escalate through that time period. And actually, it gave me a better outlook because the virus wasn't as affected towards me as it affected a lot of other people that had businesses and other things that they were doing. But it gave me a lot of outlook for my future and what, you know, I want to do with myself. Before the virus, though, is really when everything started to affect me. And I think that I did really well dealing with everything that I was dealt with. And so I went really well going through all of that. I think I handled it exceptionally. And as I was going through it, I started changing and becoming a different person, and handling things differently and understanding myself better and being happier with myself. And at the same time, I started learning lessons that I wasn't able to learn for years, and realizing, looking within myself and realizing about how a lot of my actions, you know, are unnecessary or childish, and how I can move on from that and be a better person. So now I'm at this point where I'm ready to pursue other things with my life. And I want for this channel to work out, and I want for it to become big and better, and I want to be able to show you everything I want to do in the future. But at the same time, I am focusing more on the now, and I'm focusing more on getting myself out of certain situations. And so I'm going to continue to focus on this channel as much as I can, but at the same time, I'm also focusing more on me. The goal is to be here when I'm available and to show y'all everything I can show you, about beautiful locations of the world around you, and to be able to still travel and do the things that I want to do. But I'm not going to have it set as high on the priority list unless, things change in my life in the future. And if they change for that outcome to be able to be better suited for my travel, then great. But if they don't, you're still going to be able to see me on videos. I'm still going to produce content. I might have breaks on occasion, but you're still going to be able to see me here, and I'm still going to be doing this. Like I said, this video has been more or less to explain all of these different changes with me, and explain why I went ahead and decided to cut my hair at this time, and to explain some channel changes coming up. And so I hope y'all don't freak out over it, and I hope that y'all understand why I'm changing my image a little bit. And then I will go ahead and continue with the videos that I've had planned so far.